Hi everyone, Kelly from Kelly Clarke Yoga here with you today. We've got a practice for beginners, for beginner yogis, but if you're not a beginner, this is still going to be a really great practice just to take it back to the basics, the foundations, and make sure you're doing everything super well. If you are a beginner, then welcome. I'm so excited to have you with us. Your journey is just about to start, and I promise you it's going to be an amazing one. Nothing scary is going to happen to you in this class, so take a big breath and let's do it. You'll need some comfy clothing, a yoga mat, a towel, or you could do this on a surface at home. Just make sure it's not too slippery. Don't forget to subscribe down below and let's get started. Okay, we're going to start seated, and I want you to come to a place that feels comfy for you. So maybe you even just take the feet out wide and hold on to the knees for some support. But if you can, I recommend trying to sit with cross-legged. You could grab a yoga block or maybe a big fancy cushion from your bed or lounge and just place it underneath the sit bones just to give the hips a little bit more height and allow you to sit up nice and tall through the spine. We're going to bring the hands to rest onto the knees or the thighs. And if you feel like you want some extra grounding today, then palms face down. Or if you're open and you're ready to receive, then palms face up. And then start to close your eyes. Or soften the gaze. And take just a moment to sit up really nice and tall through the spine. Head reaches up towards the sky. And shoulders just fall away from the ears. And straight away today, we're going to start to notice our breath. Our breath is the key in our yoga practice. And we want to stay tuned into how it feels. You want to stay tuned into the sensations. So to start with, just notice how the breath moves, how it flows in and out through the nose. Can you feel the breath into your belly or into your chest? Does it feel quite short or long? Shallow or deep? And don't judge or change how it feels in this moment. Simply become aware. And then take the palms to rest onto the belly. And we'll start to gently deepen our breath. And I want you to focus on breathing into the hands. So sending your breath into the belly. As you breathe in, you can feel the hands expand away. As you breathe out, you can feel the belly, the abdominals contracting. And keep deepening your breath. In a few moments, we'll go through a counted breathing exercise, Pranayama, where we breathe in for a count of 4 and breathe out for a count of 6. And if at any point that does feel like too much, feel free to maybe change the count, breathing in for 3 and out for 5. To prepare, take a big breath in through the nose and a sharp exhale out through the mouth. And breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, in for 4, 3, 2, 1. And out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. And out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Release the hands down onto the thighs, onto the legs. Continue to breathe deeply. And we start to move the body. Let's get into it. So on your next breath in, start to gently squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears, towards the face. And as you exhale, can you squeeze the shoulders back and then down the back of the body? So nice big circles with the shoulders, nice and slow. Again, we breathe in, we squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. We breathe out, we take them back and down. One more like this. Big breath in, really squeeze the shoulders up this time. Biggest one you've done yet. Big breath out, squeeze the shoulder blades back and then down the back side of the body. Gently start to bring the right fingertips forwards. So they're just going to come in between the legs with the legs crossed, and don't pop any weight into the hand, just prop yourself up with the fingers. Okay, if you're seated on a block, you can probably have a straight arm or cushion, or if you are onto the floor, you may need to just bend the elbow slightly so that the shoulder doesn't come all the way up towards the face. So right palm comes in front, and then your left hand is going to reach and just sit behind you. So you come onto the fingertips of the left hand. And again, no weight in the back hand, no weight in the front hand. It's just a little kickstand for you. You're going to breathe in, push down into the fingertips, sit up as tall as possible. And then as you exhale, can you turn the rib cage to the left? Taking your gaze to the left too. Just a gentle twist. And then breathe deep here. Notice how coming into a twist can change your breath. Can you continue to breathe deeply into the belly? Take one more breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly come back round through center. Nice slow transitions. Place the left palm in front, the right hand behind. And we're going to find our twist on this side. So pause here, take a breath in, push into the hands, grow tall. As you breathe out, we twist over, rib cage comes to the right side of our mat. And remember those shoulders coming away from the ears and the face. Take one more breath in. Use that exhale to come all the way through to center. If you are sat on a block or a cushion, gently slide it out from underneath you. Place it to the side, you won't be needing it. And then nice and slowly make your way round, come onto all fours. So once you're there, you want to stack the palms, the wrists underneath the shoulders, and the knees underneath the hips. And then take a look back at the feet and make sure that the feet are coming directly out from the knees rather than in towards each other or out to the sides. And then take a look down at your hands. Can you spread through all 10 fingers? And see if you can plant the entire palm of the hand onto the floor. So this means you need to push down through the knuckle of the index finger and the thumb nice and firmly. And then let's make sure we're not kind of dropping the body in the belly here. So can you imagine that you're drawing the shoulder blades away from each other. So you start to lift up through the chest. Maybe take a peek at the video. So make sure that you're not collapsing into the chest. You're going to push into the hands, lift the chest up and away from the mat. Then with the belly, again, maybe take a peek up at the video. Make sure that you're not dropping the belly towards the earth. Can you hug your belly button up towards the spine? So you want to find this nice long line from the crown of your head to the tailbone. Maybe imagining you could place a little cup of tea or coffee, whichever is your favorite, onto the back of the neck. So gaze comes down in between the hands. And another cup onto the lower back. This is your tabletop pose, and even this can be quite hard work, especially in the wrists and the palms. So we're only here for a few more moments. Keep pressing down into the index finger and the thumb. And we'll move through a couple of rounds of cat-cow to warm the spine. So on your next in-breath, keep pushing into the palms. You're going to start to arch the spine. The belly comes towards the earth. You take the gaze forwards. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Start to round through the shoulder blades, chin to chest. Again, breathe in. Arch the spine. Keep the palms pressing down, gaze forwards. Exhale, hug the belly up and in, round. We're going to take one more like this. Big breath in, drop the belly. Big breath out, start to round through the spine. Good. We're going to come through center. And start to tuck the toes under and just send the weight back onto the heels. Give the hands a little shake out from side to side. Just make sure there's no pain in the wrists. And then just open and closing the hands. Just working through the fingers. Good. Gently walk your way all the way back to your tabletop. And then you're going to walk the hands just about a palm's width distance forwards from where they are. The pointer finger faces forwards. And then your hands need to be at least shoulder width distance apart. With the toes tucked under, start to send your weight back towards the heels. Okay, before you reach there, before you touch the bottom down, keep the hips slightly lifted and see if you can just lift the kneecaps off of the floor. Then continue to send the hips back, press the chest towards the thighs and start to straighten the legs as much as feels good for you. So we're finding our downward facing dog. The important thing here is we keep pressing into the palms, index finger and the thumb, and we press the chest back towards the thighs. And this pose isn't about the backs of the legs and the hamstrings. So if you're trying to straighten the legs and you feel like it's really hard work and you're really rounding through the spine, I want you to stop. Bend the knees. We want to focus on the lower back. Can you send the hips up and back? So start to tilt the hips forwards. You want to have a long spine here. Maybe feeling nothing at all in the back of the legs, but if you are feeling a stretch, that's completely fine. On your next breath in, you're going to rise up onto the tiptoes. Start to walk the feet forwards towards the hands. Come to the top of your yoga mat. Feet hip width distance apart and fold forwards over the thighs. Nice big generous bend in the knees. Let the upper body hang heavy and start to roll up through the spine. So this is like a how slow can you go game. Keep the knees bent until you arrive. The shoulders loop back and the head comes up last. And when you arrive here, try not to move, try not to jiggle around the clothing, try not to move the feet. Just notice that you've arrived here. We're going to find our feet. So lift the toes, spread them wide, and then gently place them back down. Then see if you can bring the weight forwards into the balls of the feet without lifting the heels off of the ground. Then start to send your weight back into the heels without lifting the toes off of the ground. Then find a place in between there. Find that space of balance. And then imagine that you're drawing energy all the way up from the arches of the feet, up the legs, draw the kneecaps up the thighs, up the body, and out the crown of the head so you can stand really tall. The palms are going to face forward so you can find a little opening in the chest. Tadasana, mountain pose. The belly is gently engaged. Let's get moving. On your next breath in, a little bend in the knees as you sweep the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, you're going to fold forwards, dive the chest down, find a forward fold. Take the hands onto the shins. We're going to lift the spine halfway. So the crown of your head reaches towards the front of your yoga mat. Your gaze is down, maybe towards the big toes. And then I want you to imagine that you slide the hands to just underneath the knees. Maybe you could take them above the knees if that feels better for you. And then you squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and the shoulders down away from the ears. Can you then push into the palms, find some length? Take one more breath in and one more breath out to fold. Bend the knees. Find some softening. As you breathe in, you're going to rise back up through standing. Palms reach overhead. And then exhale, take the hands together to rest at the heart center. We're going to do one more like that, but a little faster. So big breath in to reach the palms up. As you exhale, bend knees, fold forwards. Taking the hands onto the thighs or the shins, find your flat back, gaze down. Exhale and fold. Little bend in the knees as you rise up through standing. And exhale, take the hands to the heart center. Let's add some more on. Breathe in to reach the palms up. Breathe out to dive the chest over the thighs. Palms to shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale. Plant both hands to the ground and bend your knees generously. You're going to take a big step back with the right leg. And make sure you've got a nice long lunge position here. So look back towards the right foot. Make sure it's not hopped in halfway down your yoga mat. Send it to the back of your yoga mat. And then gently place the right knee down onto the floor. And if you have any sensitivity in your knees, you could roll up your yoga mat, fold it in half, and then place the knee down on there. Good. You can keep the back toes tucked under or release onto the floor. Take a big breath in. You're going to reach both palms up and overhead. Low lunge. And instead of just hanging out here, we want to find activation in the legs. So make sure that you're not dumping forwards. I want you to imagine pulling the left heel in towards the right knee and the right knee in towards the left heel. So both of your legs squeeze together into the center line. And then you're going to peel the belly away from the thigh. So imagine having two 90-degree angles with both of the legs. Your palms reach up towards the ceiling and really reach up through the fingertips. So nice strong arms. And you don't have to have them in towards the ears. You could take them wide. Volcano arms. This is your low lunge. Keep the legs as they are. Slowly bring the right hand to the outside of the left knee. And then reach your left hand back behind you. So you're going to twist over to the left side of your mat. Left side of the room. Continue to breathe. If you'd like to challenge yourself, you could take the gaze back towards the left thumb. On your next breath in, you're going to rise up through center. Exhale to frame the front foot. Breathe in, tuck right toes under, pick right knee up. Exhale, step forwards, fold. You're going to breathe in, hands onto shins or thighs, flat back here. Squeeze shoulders away from ears. Exhale, place both hands down. Step back this time with your left foot. Remember, nice big lunge position. Left knee down. As we breathe in, we reach both palms up and overhead. 90-degree angles with the legs, and then again we draw the feet, the knees into the center line. Can you continue to send your breath down into the belly? It's okay if this feels like hard work. It's okay if the legs start to shake. Mine do too. So as soon as I pull my legs into the center, I can feel myself working. We're going to bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. The right hand comes behind. Twist to the right side. And again, perhaps you even take the gaze back towards the right thumb. Just a bit of extra challenge. Good, one more breath here. Use your next inhale to come through your lunge. Place the palms onto your mat. Breathe in to lift the left knee. Breathe out to fold forwards over both of the legs. This time as we bend the knees, we're going to reach up through standing. The palms reach overhead. We're going to gaze to the hands. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And pause here. Take a few breaths. Make sure you're still connected and in control of your body. Release the hands down by your sides and take a look down at the feet. Make sure your feet are hip-width distance apart. And remember, no one's feet are actually this wide. So just find that part of the hips, the bony part. That's how wide you want to have your feet. So have a look down. See if you can line that up and then point the big toes forwards. Good. On your next breath in, you're going to reach both palms up and overhead. As you exhale, gently bend the knees, fold forwards. Breathe in, hands onto shins, flat back, squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, fold, plant both hands down. Bend in the knees. As you step both feet to the back of your yoga mat, find a plank. And come onto the balls of the feet. You have the option to come down onto the knees here. Wherever you are, think of lifting the hips away from the floor. So try not to lift them really, really high, but you don't want them to sag down towards the floor. Lift the hips up and away. Hug the belly into the spine, and can you round through the shoulders? One breath here. Good. We're then going to bend the knees and start to send our hips towards the back of our yoga mat. We've got one more downward facing dog. And can you really push into the hands? Imagine that with your hands, you're pushing your yoga mat away from you towards the front of the room. And then with your feet, you're pushing the balls of the feet away back towards the back of the room. And the knees can be bent, or you can come up onto the toes. Take one more breath here. And on the exhale, slowly lower the knees to the ground. You're going to come all the way through to seated. And take the legs out long in front of you. We're moving into a forward fold. So again, feel free to grab any blocks or cushions that you want to and place it underneath the sit bones. It's just going to give you a little bit more space. And as you fold here, you can bend the knees as much as you need to. Don't be afraid to do that. You want to take care of your body. Wherever you choose to be, flex the toes back towards the face. And you want to have the legs together, so legs touching. Take a big breath in to reach both the palms up. And as you exhale, can you start to fold forwards? Imagine you're reaching towards the front of the room and then place the hands down. Find your fold here. See if you can take the gaze maybe off of the video, look down towards the legs, towards the toes. Continue to breathe. And we're going to come out of this one nice and slow. So use the hands, start to pad the hands back up. You're going to come all the way back upright, gently bend the knees, and then take the soles of the feet together, draw them nice and close in towards you, and knees come out to the sides. And you can stay seated on your block or your cushion, it can feel super comfy. You then take hold of the ankles. Find lots of length in the spine here. Make sure you're sat up nice and tall. No slouchy backs. Can you draw the chest through the shoulders? So you loop the shoulders back. And remember that everything that is offered to you in your yoga practice is always an option. So choose to be wherever you want and need to be today. Option 1 is to stay here, finding length in the spine, finding space in the hips. For more intensity, you're going to start to fold forwards. And I want you to focus on keeping the chest proud. So try not to round through the upper body. Can you keep the shoulders looping back? And just allow the lower body to fold over the legs. Good. Slowly make your way back up. Take hold of the outside of the knees, draw the knees in towards each other. If you're on a block or a cushion, move it to the side. We don't need it anymore. And then bring your bottom about halfway down the yoga mat. You're then going to reach the hands forward. See if you can keep the soles of the feet planted firmly onto the ground and then start to lower down. You're going to come all the way to rest on the back and just see with how much control you can go down. Maybe you get to a point where you think, oh, such hard work. Just allow yourself to roll down onto the back and hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Good. We're going to move into a twist. So take your arms out either into a big T, or if you don't have space, you could bend the elbows 90 degrees into cactus arms. And then slowly allow the knees to come over to the right side. And just allow your body to relax into this. See if you can continue to breathe all the way down into the belly. So the belly is soft, and as you breathe in, you allow the belly to dome outwards, maybe pushing into the thighs. As you breathe out, pull the belly button into the spine, and you're going to draw the legs up through center and all the way to the left side. Last breath on this side. As you exhale, draw the legs into the chest. Give yourself one last big hug, big squeeze. And then you want to extend the legs out long. And take them as wide as your yoga mat and let the feet fall out to the sides. And then palms rest down by the sides, facing up. If you've never done any yoga before, we always take this time at the end of our class, our practice, to wind down and allow the body to rest in stillness. That's what we're going to do today. So let go of any control over your breath. See if you can start to soften through the face. forehead. Jaw is relaxed. And eyes are closed. Your only job now is to be still. So with each breath out, can you imagine the body growing heavy? And try not to move just yet. Breathe just a little deeper. And then we're going to wiggle the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. Just bring a bit of life back in. And then really slowly resist the urge that you get to rush here. Hug both the knees into the chest. No rush at all. You're going to roll over onto the right hand side. And pause here for just a moment. Maybe you make a little pillow for the head with the arm or the hand. And as you move, see if you can keep your eyes closed or a soft gaze. Really use the hands to support you as you come back to a seated place. Any place of your choice. And rest the hands down onto the legs. And before we leave, before we close our practice, just notice how you're feeling. We'll take one cleansing breath together. So breathe in through the nose. Sigh it out the mouth. Take the hands to the heart center. Gently bowing the head. Thank yourself for practicing today, for making this time and space for yourself. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.